Hi there, welcome to the channel. My name is AJ. Today we're going to be talking about how to build an anvil stand. So, as I've been starting this process of becoming a blacksmith, I am still waiting on some of my stuff to arrive. And while that's going on, I've been trying to kind of prepare and figure out what I can do in the meantime. So one thing, I've been educating myself with a lot of YouTube videos, but also something I was not prepared for was I need a place to put my anvil. So I have here 7 23 and 7/8 inch 2x12s, and we're gonna make a anvil stand today. So we'll show you how you're gonna do that. What you're gonna need is you're gonna need 7 2x12s cut to 23 and 7/8 inch. The reason I did 23 and 7/8 is if you take the standard measurement of how high an anvil should be, you put your arm to the side, you measure from your knuckle to the ground. For me, that's 30 inches. My anvil is 6 inches tall, so that puts me at 24. I dropped that to 23 and 7/8 inches. The reason I did that is so that I could cut one 14-foot board into 7 equal parts. So you need to make that measurement. It's real easy. Just use a tape measure and measure how far it is from bottom of your knuckle. That way you can get the proper anvil strike. So you'll need 7 of these, cut to the appropriate length for you. If you're taller than me, I'm 6'3", then you might have to deal with 6. If you're shorter than me, then you could probably get them cut at your local hardwood store with a to the appropriate length for you. Second, you're going to need some liquid nails or any kind of wood glue, I imagine will work equally well. And then I have some 3-inch fast and tight wood screws. This is gonna be what holds it all together until the glue sets. So with that, I'll show you kind of how I'm gonna get this built. Before we start though, I do want to thank, I don't remember who I got this idea from. I've watched a lot of videos online, but this is not an original idea to me, but I thought it was a good idea, and so I guess imitation is the greatest form of flattery. So if this was you, thank you for helping, thank you for the idea, and I'll look up and see if I can get proper attribution for them. So hope you enjoy. So what I've done here is I've planned out, I've started with my first 2x12. I have it sitting here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a second 2x12, and what I figured is I took my anvil and I placed it here on the 2x12. I figured I wanted about 1.5 inches from the edge of the 2x12 in. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna stagger these back and forth. So for the first one, I measured 1.5 inches with my speed square, measured the 1.5 inches, got it marked up right here, and then we're just gonna line that up. We're gonna make sure it's flush across the bottom, flush across the top, we're all square. And for this first board, instead of using the 3-inch screws, I don't wanna drill a hole into my nice new workbench here. So we're gonna be using just some simple drywall screws for the first one. Once we get a few more layers in, we'll be able to come back from the other side and cinch that down a little better. So I've got a few of these here. Then what I'm gonna do is I've decided I'm gonna do 5 screws per board. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pre-drill. That way I don't end up splitting the board. It's important to remember, you want to give yourself 1.5 inches on this side of the board as well. So come in about 2 inches, and you want to kind of stagger them. That way you don't end up hitting the nails or screws in the same spot. So we're going to do 3 across one side and 2 across the other, giving ourselves plenty of room there. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna set that up just like that. We're gonna grab our liquid nails, and you just wanna give yourself a pretty generous amount. This stuff will end up holding stronger than the screws will once it's dried up. So once you've got that the way you want it, you're gonna set that down and just give it a little slide. Let the liquid nails kind of take shape, and then make sure you get it squared back up, back to your original spot. Nice and tight. And then I'm just gonna take these drywall screws, these 2-inch drywall screws to start, and my impact driver, cinch that down good and tight. Make sure you're still square everywhere, square on the top, square on the bottom, very good. You want to make sure you sink it down really good, otherwise you'll have some extra space in there. All right, very good. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna spin it over. We're gonna do the same thing we just did on that other side. We're gonna take our speed square. We're gonna mark 1.5 inches. Okay, and we're gonna have screws, 2 screws here. 2 screws on the side, this time, and 3 screws on the far side this time. And now we're gonna have to worry about our workbench getting away. Let's check that real quick. Yeah, should be good. So once again, you want to square that up top and bottom. Make sure right along our line. Also, make sure you screw across that back side. Then we're just once again, said we want to do 3 on the side. Man, I nailed that right exactly. So like I said, we want to do 2 on this side. I nailed that right in the middle of that 2-inch screw. That's too funny. So let's try that again. We're gonna put 2 on this side, not 3. So we're gonna do 2 here. And 1 up there. And then we're gonna do 3 across the back. Make sure you, once again, make sure you space for that screw back here. So we'll do 1 right here. 1 here. And 1 up here. Set that to the side just like that. And we'll go back over the nails. We'll hit that top. Make sure you don't go too far this way. We're going to keep this nice and clean. So you do the nails. Cross like that. So tonight, I'm going to use like this. Yourself, if you're going to keep continuing to do that. Make that workbench. And once again, set that down there and then slide it to where you want it. Just real important. Make sure you have everything nice and squared up on here. You're going to get that flat bottom and a flat top. Very good. All right, I think we're set there. So I'm going to take our 3 screws now. I ran that into the wrong hole again. Let's try it again. All right, now we're going to do that again. We're going to flip it over. And we're going to mark each half. Kind of jumped on me there. Learned a lesson from last time we marked down with this. Got to put it in liquid nails. Like I said, this is really more important part. It will end up being sharper than the nails once it sets, so don't forget that. That weak point in the anvil stand. So sorry about that. It looks like I had my first battery die. So as I came to set this board up here, got it all ready and prepped, and then I noticed that it had this little bit of wobble in it. And so as I felt here, it feels like the board has a little bit of a warp here. So all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take some 80 grit sandpaper, and I'm just gonna scuff that up a little bit. I don't think it was probably significant enough to throw off the anvil. I think the liquid nails would probably more than compensate for it. But since I noticed it, I thought it would be a good idea just to smooth that up a little bit, get those high spots taken care of. Planer would probably work well for this too. right, smooth that up a little bit. Let's see.
Interesting. So this side rocks. This side seems pretty stable. So I think I'm just going to go with that. Interesting to know. I think what's going on there is that the board has a slight warp to it like this. And so we want to make sure we stack them in the same way there. We want to make sure that we're matching that. So what we're going to do is we're going to mark our holes. We want 2 on this side. And 3 over here. And make sure we're coming in. Pretty significant. There we go. Make sure we're all flushed up before we send the screws. There we go. And we'll just put some nails in there. So I push that back because it feels like the board's more flush back there. You know, there's volume. Not sure why that has that gap there, but as long as everything's square, should be okay. So we got that smooth right there and smooth across the top. And let's send it smooth. And smooth, excellent. All right. Take that, rotate it this way. And we got 2 more boards to go. Saw leftovers hanging off there. All right, we'll take another 2x12 here. Set it on top. Since we discovered that one side likes to rock and one side doesn't. Yep, look at that. This side has a lot more play on it. Whereas if we have it this way, much more stable. Interesting. Glad we caught that. That's a good find. All right, so we're gonna want 1 screw here and 1 screw here, and then 3 across the top. All right, measure 1.5 inches. 1, 2, 3, so we get it all nice and squared up. Make sure there's flush across the back. Very good. And 1, 2 on the front, 3 in the back. Don't want that. Dance around like that. So back home, stay hard spot. All right, and then 3 across the back. Dance around on me more than I anticipated. I don't think it's big enough to plant this entire massive chunk of wood. Just realized what I've got. Cheryl, you're screaming at your computer right now saying you got to put nails in there. I heard you. So thank you for that reminder. What did I do with that? There we go. There we go. And nails on just a touch. Smooth that up. Right there. That's what I want that. There's a few more in here. All right, our last one. That nice and smooth there. Last board. Here we go. So take it. Put it up here. We're on 2 on the side, 3 on the far side. We measure 1.5 inches. Come back, 1.5 inches. And check. Pretty stable that way. Rocks like crazy. All right, so that's a good find right there. Good discovery. All right. So. Knock down the other side. Edges out. And then rip this board. I guess it didn't clean up position quite as well as maybe I would. That's okay. Well, I don't need that work. Less one. That'll clean up nice. And then a little bit. There we go. All right. So what you can see we've got here now is this large solid rock. Log basically. People have used anvils on top of logs for a long time, and What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna cut this board right at that edge right there. So I got my wood. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna mount this on there so that whenever we have our tools, that'll hold them right there nice and clean without us having any issues. So I'm gonna get this cut real quick and then show you guys me getting that mounted. Alright, so what I did was I took that board that I cut it down to length right here. And now what I'm gonna do is we're just gonna lay this over just like that. And I'm noticing I stuck one a little bit too far through, and even though I pre-drilled those holes, they blew out a little bit, so we'll just hit that with a little bit of sandpaper just to make that snug up real nice. And then once again, while I've got this here, I'm just gonna put myself a little dab of liquid nails on either end of this. And that'll make this real nice and soft at the top. We're gonna flip that over, make it nice and square, and send it. And we'll do over on this side too. Sorry, I think I was giving you guys a good view of my bad side. All right, that's pretty stout. I'm gonna leave this side open just because I'm not sure what I'm gonna end up doing for hardy holes and stuff. But my anvil should be here any day, and now we'll have a place to put it. So I'm excited about that. I'm gonna mount it on top of there, see if we can deaden some of the ring. If you want to see the anvil that I have ordered for this, it's the 66-pound cast steel anvil on Amazon. I've got the link in the description below. Go and check that out. I would really appreciate it. Also, if you'll like and subscribe to the channel, you'll see my development as a blacksmith and how this project continues. So thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day. God bless.